एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभव निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। तन तन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज। हवाए बंदगी आवर दर वजूद मरा वगरने ज़ौक़े चुनी आमदैन नमूद मरा। न साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श खुदावंद बख्शन दे यूं है शर्श। कमाले करामात कायम करीम रज़ा बख्श राज़ रेहाकुन रहीम। न साजो न बाजो न फौजो न फर्श खुदावंद बख्शन दे यूं है शर्श। बिबी गर्दिशे बेवफाए ज़मा के बरहर बगुज़र बकीनो मका। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। We are visiting the Bani of the Japji Sahib Maharaj, the first Bani of the Guru Granth Sahib, amongst the first primal Banis of Guru Nanak Sahib Hazur. Maharaj had a habit of keeping a record of all his conversations. Anytime Bani descended on him, he would write out the Shabad, record it in his book. Pothi those days it would be called. The enigma of life has many questions, and we can look at these questions from many facets to try and understand what life is. Primarily, most of us are not engaged in the question of understanding life. Our more essential endeavor is to sustain life, to live it, to survive. That is what consumes most of our energy. In that we can be successful in the worldly sense. We've garnered wealth, status, but we all know how much happiness all that brings us. We are all aware of the external source of happiness. What others perceive to be a happy state of being may not necessarily make me very happy within myself. Somebody who has a lot, Sufi says, be careful. You will spend all your energy in trying to save and safeguard what you have, and that will expend all your energy of life. You will not get very far. What is life is a very big question. We come to this earth, we take birth, we form a conditioned mind, we have an identity. We work hard in that identity to sustain it, to nurture it, to cherish it, to grow it. And then we all depart, leaving that identity to shreds, leaving it behind, carrying only the semblance of those experiences. Whatever experiences we've had, we will carry those with us in the form of karma, in the form of reactions to our own actions. So what would life be like? In the last session, I think I mentioned this Pauri from the Onkar Bani, in which Maharaj explains to us that we have had many births, many parents, many siblings, many spouses, many children, many gurus. And he says in the beginning of that Pauri that we are already tired and we don't know where we are going, directionless. We don't have gurus who know what they are doing. That we see every day today in this world. Everybody is an expert in spirituality. Somebody who knows nothing feigns to know it all, and all of us just sit the other side and absorb it as though the person knows. Only one who knows if the other knows. One essential aspect of this spiritual sustenance is dhyan. And whoever is spiritually evolved will have dhyan as an essential component to his or her life. And that dhyan brings with it gyan, knowledge. Sometimes I read a book, I do dhyan in the book, and I get knowledge from the words and the letters in the book. Akhar. Sometimes I just do dhyan. I am in dhyan and I know what is happening around me. Life is also like a book. The mind is like a book. The field of life is the mind. We all live this life in this mind and depart. We don't know what is on the other side. We assume. Even if somebody says he knows or she knows, we have no way of checking it. Then we have these questions in our mind. What is Atma? Where does it live? Where do we know where it is? In the Guru Nanak Sahib, Maharaj has given one clear direction. That knowledge comes from dhyan and going within dhyan. That is the real knowledge of life. We can read 1,000 books and gain factual knowledge. We can go into our inner mind in dhyan and become aware. That's the knowledge of awareness. And being unaware and living life is like living in a torture chamber. We don't know where life is go. We don't know what it brings us. And we also don't know if there is a deeper meaning to life. We know this one thing, that we are looking for happiness. And we are looking for happiness forever. That is our selfish reason for trying to seek spirituality, understand life. But that itself is a serious enough endeavor. When Gautam Buddha approaches religion, one of the essential 4 aspects he mentions about life is that pain is a very essential part of life. That life is pain. That's the starting experience. That will bring fear. So the mind which is conditioned, which has ego, is in fear and is always in trouble. And we don't know whether this mind has some inner layers to it because we've never entered those realms. That needs a serious endeavor. It needs a certain nurturing, it needs some educating, it needs some practice, it needs an inquiry which is more than just curiosity. Most of us are just curious about spirituality. And therein lies our flaw. Everything else can be taken lightly, but if we take the spiritual realm lightly, then we will bear the brunt of the repercussions of that. We are today going to discuss the 29th body. These 4 bodies, starting from the 28th body to the 31st body. Body meaning steps. Japji Sahib has 38 bodies and 2 shloks. The Mool Mantar in the beginning is a synopsis of the whole Guru Nanak Sahib. Life ends in Gur Prasad. Life ends in meeting the Guru. But we don't meet the Guru. We don't listen to the Guru, which is what Maharaj says, Suniye. We listen to ourselves, our ego, and we judge the Guru. Well, that may be a beginning. But sometimes when someone is a serious seeker, his sixth sense rises and he knows or she knows that this is the right place. Guru Nanak Sahib talks about life in a deeper sense, and it always relates to the mind. In some ways, he breaks the barriers of structural spirituality, of structural religion, and he makes it all grey, and he says there are no walls in this creation. Maharaj is, today the 29th body is the second body of a dialogue with the yogis, the siddhs, the ascetics. Yogi is a very big tradition 500 years ago in India, separate from Hinduism at that time, recognized separately because of its seriousness, because of the way in which it approaches religion. People give up their lives and live in the mountains for years, for all their lives. So there's a structure to their groups, to their communities. We heard one of them in the last body, I Panthi. I Panthi was one of the leading panths of that time. Gorakhnath is also another yogi. These four bodies are actually telling us that the Siddh Gosht, the dialogue with the yogis, happened before Japji Sahib was composed and put in structural form. Because these four bodies are coming as a visitation to the Japji. Ades te se ades. Salutations to the one. Ad Anil Anad Anahat. Jug Jug Eko Ves. The timeless Ad, when there was nothing. Anil can't be corrupted. Anad, who has no beginning. Anahad, who can never end. Jug Jug Eko Ves. Throughout time, there is only one form the Creator has. This is the key to life. Who is this Creator? What is the need to meet this Creator? Why should I form an inquiry into the Creator's life and world? The foundation of our lives is the Creator who's created us. To know ourselves completely, we have to know this foundation. And if we don't know this, we will live in an incomplete life, sustaining our life, which will anyway end. We survive through life, but die in the end. So survival makes us die in the end. What is death has to be understood through this inquiry about the Creator. Somebody who Guru finds as a living being, vibrant with energy within and without him, everywhere, to the point where Guru says the Creator is in a vismad, is in absolute ecstasy with mad. The boundaries of happiness abound in this creation. This entire creation is vismad, he says. Asadivar. The whole body is vismad. We don't know vismad. We don't feel vismad. We have only conflicts which we are settling every day, trying to solve problems, trying to find our way out of this world. That's the trap. Those are all dead ends. They go nowhere. For the one who has got 100 billions in his pocket, and for the one who has not more than a farthing, a penny in his pocket, the ending is the same. Rajrank. Death flattens all these aberrations, differences between us. Nirtan and Tani, he says they are the same ending. In fact, in some ways, the The pauper may be better off because he has less to lose, so less pain in departing from here. What is creation? And how do we solve this? In podcasts today, I find it really amusing how we think we know that creation is something. But Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib in one of his shabads tells us, if you want to know this Guru, Bahar Pitar Ek Ko Jaane, Gur Gyan Batai. The Guru can tell us how to meet this one energy within us and without us. This is the key to life, meeting the Guru. We don't meet the Guru because we don't listen to the Guru. And Maharaj says the beginning of spirituality happens by listening. Suniye, 4 bodies of Suniye. Nanak Bhakta Sada Vigas, Suniye Dup Paap Ka Nas. So in this way, life is a beginning when we absorb our answers, which life gives us. When we listen to the Guru and absorb it within ourselves, implement it, then we are in Manan, Mane. The structure of our inner mind changes. We go beyond the ego self with the help of the Guru. Without the Guru, we can't do that. We can go into a thoughtless state. We can have a mind which is focused, thoughtless, calm, peaceful, but it will not be Anandit. It will not be full of Anand. The door to Anand is held very sacred by the Guru. And for that we need the Guru. Because we have to go beyond the ego, beyond the self, beyond home, to live the dimension of Anand. That's where we meet our Creator, our Founder. That's where we celebrate life in its reality. Because that Anand is unconditional. It's without reason. It's the state of being of my inner mind. And Guru says there is a door which is holding us away from this experience. He calls it the 10th door. Dasam dwar kunchi jab dije, tab dayal ko darshan kije. Gurudware laye pavni ek na 10वां द्वार दिखाया. Go with love to the Guru and he will show you the 10th door. Love is a foundation of the inner spiritual journey. So this is the second body of that 4 bodies which we visit, dialogue with the yogis. And this has a mention of the lifestyle of the yogis. Like the last one had munda, the mundra, the earring, and the begging cloth, the khinta, the staff which the yogis hold, danda. Maharaj translates all the physical reflections of life into the man. And that, he says, is how we practice religion. In the Asa Divar, Maharaj says, Nanak Sache Naam bin kya tikka kya tag. Without Naam in our lives, what is the symbols of life? That's the learning we can do from these experiences of meeting Guru Nanak. Symbols need to be nurtured, possibly, but not at the cost of Naam. We can't hold on to a physical structure and say we are spiritual without Naam. Because Naam is the transforming energy of our inner mind. It's the love the Creator holds for us. It's the Anand which exists everywhere in the creation. It's the Gyan, understanding of the structure of life. One is the structure of creation as we see it. The galaxies, the stars, the black holes, the supernova, the nova, creation of heavy elements, how life is being formed in the physical sense. That's knowledge. That comes to us from observing through the eye. That also has dhyan in it. But the other is the knowledge of our inner mind. Who lives within us? That is beyond our reach. Guru, in the Guru Granth Sahib, repetitively tells us and invites us to give up this mind. Man beche Satgur ke paas. Te sevak ke karaj ras. Which mind do we give up, Maharaj? We go mad without a mind. Is there a state without mind? When Guru Sahib talks about giving up the mind, the ego mind, the mind which has home in it, I am, which is the structure of what we know as life. We know life only through I am. If I am not, there is no life. So that's why if I go to a place and they give me garlands and they praise me, I feel happy, I feel elated because I am being endorsed. So I am. That's my essential need, my hunger. I am. Because without I am, what is there? This is how, when I say understanding life, this is the structure of life. What is there without I am? Beyond this form, shape, family, name, social structure, identity, body, learning, knowledge, beyond this, what is there that exists within us? Which Guru says, Tragun te atit, beyond the three qualities, form, shape, name. You can say these are symbols of qualities of life. Beyond name, shape and form, what exists? That's the foundation of creation. And Guru Sahib knows that level of being. And he is inviting us again and again and again to go there. To ignore all else and seek that which is within us. As man ko koi khojo pai, तन छूटे मन कहाँ समाई. जब ए हृदय देह न होती तब मन कैठे रहता. When there is no body, no hriday, no heart, where does the mind stay? हृदय देह न होती औदू, मन सुन रहा बैरागी. Maharaj invites us to this state of sun samadhi. Thoughtless. Where is this sun samadhi and how do we reach there? Through yoga. We should do some yoga asanas. This is to be understood. What is the dhyan? What is the natural state of being? Maharaj, one important aspect which we all ignore is that we don't know the mind beyond thoughts. So that's the beginning of where we should all be working on. That the other day, someone asked this question, I'm in pain in my family, I'm not able to do dhyan. There's so much chaos around me. Life is so uninspiring and so confusing, so pressurizing. That's true. But whenever we do any philanthropy without the ego, then we solve this problem. Anything which we do for a benefit to the other, and we don't have our demands on it. Any action with love, where we don't ask for any record, any hisab, any mathematics. We just do it with love. then we find a solution to this problem. We go quietly to the langar hall and we clean a few utensils and just leave quietly. We cook some food at home and take it to the community center and give it as a community, as a langar, and quietly come back home. These are the ways in which we give up our ego. Our ego is our burden. That's what it is, isn't it? That's what it means, that I am burdened with my ego. My baggage is what is hurting me. My baggage is constraining me. My baggage is tying me down. All of us are tied down by this baggage. That is how life is. But what is the way out? The way out is not struggling within the ego, because being within the ego is like a quicksand. The more we struggle, the deeper we go. The solution lies in seva. When Guru Sahib was leaving Patna Sahib, 4 different people asked him about how they can meet him. One was Pandit, and Maharaj says, you should do some, recite the Shabad and I will be there. There was a lady who came to him and he says, cook some meals and give it all to people. The third was someone else and he said, do kirtan. And there was another person who came and he said, do some seva. Give up your ego and the Guru is present. That's how it is. That's the yukti, the method. When we relax, we are actually giving up the ego. I lie down on some sand, on grass and just let be, let go. Look at the stars, forget everything. Drop all my issues and calm myself. That's an egoless state. Ego is a burden. It will always be constraining. It will always be tying us down. It will always be hankering us into pain, wandering, seeking. That is how the nature of ego is. Then someone said the other day, I want to go to the mountains. Then I will find some peace to do some meditation. That's the trick of the mind. When we are in the hills, we will think of the city. When we are in the city, we will think of the mountains. That is how the mind is. It is never where we are. That's another trick. So when I am not able to sit down and relax by myself at home, I say, if I was in the mountains, I would be relaxing. Probably. But then after a few hours, you'll start calling up home and ask, how's your son, daughter, how's food is cooked, everything is all right. You start calling up home. That's the mind. It's always wandering away from where I am. The 29th Pauri, Maharaj. Let's read this Pauri. And every journey of Shabad with Guru Nanak Sahib is guaranteed of one thing. It will take us into an inner mind. In fact, the whole Guru Granth Sahib is about that. The psychology of the spiritual mind. That's where it will take us. That's the guarantee. 29th Pauri, Japji Sahib meeting Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj.
वाहिगुरु जी भुगत ज्ञान दया भंडारण घट घट वाजह नाद आप नाथ नाथी सब जाकी सिद्ध सिद्ध अवरा साध संजोग विजोग दुए कार चलावह लेखे आवे भाग आदेश तिसै आदेश आद अनील अनाद अनाहत जुग जुग एको वेस। वाहिगुरु जी, वाहिगुरु जी।
Dhanwad Mandeep, thank you. Maharaj, 29th body. What do the yogis do, Maharaj? Maharaj, the lifestyle of the yogis is what we are visiting in these bodies. In the last body, we visited the mundra, which they have in their ears, and the choli, the kintha, the cloth which they use to lie down. There's some question. The kintha and the danda which they have, these are the lifestyles of the yogis. This now, the second body, is the other aspect of their life. When Maharaj is visiting the yogis are sharing what they feel is the exalted part of their life, what should be celebrated. This is what they do when they eat, when they partake of their community kitchen, which we call langar. They call it, the food they call pugat. And the langari, the person who controls the langar, they call that pandaran. And then they have a kind of an instrument which they call nadi. It's a percussion instrument. They blow it and it makes a sound to announce that food is being distributed. Because they would create this food once and then give everybody their bhag. So ahead we will find in the later part of the Shabad, Lekhe Aave Bhag. That bhag also becomes part of what Guru Sahib is talking about. See, these are the structures which become our pitfalls from our spirituality. We use these physical symbols and we assume that we have become spiritual. But Maharaj keeps telling us again and again, with only the physical symbols, what is the state of your mind? In the beginning of the Sikh Gurus, Sahib directly tells the yogis, "Bin naame man tek na tikhi, Nanak bhukh na jaye." This is the body of Hati Bati when they are talking about what they eat and where they live. The first answer Guru Sahib says is, have you stopped looking at the other as your foundation of your life? And that will only happen with Naam. It can't happen without that. And you don't have Naam as part of your Jugti, your method. Naam is the love of God, celebrated through Bani, through singing of the Bani, through Jap and Jap of Bani. Jap man Satnam, Sada Satnam. Halat parat mukhu jal hoyi hai. Maharaj, the figuring out of the structure of the mind is the key to survival, to ultimate success of life, not survival. Eating, sustaining, earning our life, walking through it, that is survival. And you don't know where that ends also. We don't know where life is going to be after a few moments, what will be a part of our life. We don't know what the future holds. That is why when somebody says, I know the future, I can tell the future, has become very attractive for us because there is darkness ahead. Maharaj then also tells the Siddhs what Guru brings to life. पूरे गुरते नाम पाया जाए. When you will go sit with the Guru, when you will listen to the Guru, Naam will enter your life. A state of mind where your ego is not. Sometimes we go to meet someone and we say, we had so many questions before I came, but now that I sit with you, there are none. I've dropped the ego. All the questions are gone. Man beche Satgur ke paas. Seva is one place where we find relief. Sev karat hove neh kami, tisko hot parapat swami. Neh kami. The sustaining of life is within the ego form, within home. And the spiritual aspect of life and living the real life is beyond home, beyond structure. And we don't know how to transcend this from the home man to the non-home man. We don't know this. And we cannot know it. We can only visit it through the Guru. This state, the Guru reveals to us. We are not aware of it and we can't do it ourselves. A person Guru. जैसे जल में कमल निरालम मुर्गाई ने साने सुरत शब्द पप सागर तरिए नानक नाम बखाने. Surat and Shabad Maharaj says, that's the solution of life. Knowing the ekagar man, प्रभ की उस्तत करो संत मीत, सावधान एकाग्र चित. एक चित, एकाग्र चित, focused mind, one mind, where there is no thought. Sahaj, Surat, that's the part of this life. And we are not aware of this life. So if living these many lifetimes, many families, many spouses, many children, many parents, different ways of being part of society, being rich, poor, all these experiences are all part of our journey through this life. But one problem which all of us face is that we don't know the way out. We don't know how to stop the mind. We don't know how to connect the mind, and we don't know how to open the inner door of the mind. All this happens through Shabad. That's why Maharaj says, without Shabad, there is no end to this journey. Maharaj talks about this Bhugat, Pandaran, and then the Nadi which they narrate, which they sing before at the time of Langar. Then Maharaj talks about the way of life of the yogis. So when he brings these physical attributes and he converts them into the mind, he says Gyan is the focus of the mind. Awareness is the understanding of, that's the food of the spirit. I am aware of where I am, what I am. I have transcended change. That's another way of looking at it. I have transcended change. There is no change where I am. Bhugat Gyan. And then how does the communication of this Gyan happen in life? Through love. And that's a form of Daya. Daya is the distribution, the method how this knowledge is distributed. Love. One love we know with all relationships. Lovers, love with children, parents, that's all love, binding the whole life together. The foundation of all social life is love. But this love is existent in a different flavor. A love that exists without reason. It makes me give up everything of mine for the other. Bhugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran. And this Daya, My compassion for the other, the love for the other, makes me distribute this gyan. Kat kat vajje naad. Maharaj says, every part of my being is celebrating the Creator. Every part of my being, kat kat vajje naad, with which I am calling to the other. Aap nathi sab jagi. Then Maharaj says, Aap nath, the one Creator, the Ek Omkar, he is my Nath. He or she is my Nath. Nath was the leader of the community of yogis. He says, Aap Nath, the one Ek Omkar is my Nath. Aap Nath Nathi sab jagi. And he knows he is the creator of everything. He says this knowing of this energy is a different plane of creation. Putting effort into this, meeting this energy, meeting a Omkar, is a spiritual aspect of life. It takes you away from our ego. It takes us away from our conditioned mind. Aap Nath, Nathi sab jagi. The one Nath who has tied everyone together. He's tied all creation. In one thread he has tied all creation. Aap Nath, Nathi sab jagi. He says, my relationship is with this Nath, with this foundation of life. Now let's just pause for a minute. This Creator may be at the foundation of creation, but we don't see him. We only see physical form, physical shape, people, names, structures, definitions. We don't see the Creator. Where does the Creator live? Maharaj says he is right here. But none of us see him. None of us feel him. Guru has a direct relationship with this Nath, the foundation of all creation. So do we. But we are unaware. We don't have the gyan. We are unaware what life is. We are unaware that the one who has created life is with us all the time. We don't see him, we don't feel him, we don't know him. That's the ignorance, the maya of life. We try and measure everything and we think we know. $100,000 billion stars in this galaxy to 400,000, and we think we know. Knowing Creator is living in Anand, not in confusion. Knowing the foundation of life and the secret of life is finding a life which is more real than this life and sustains beyond death. We can struggle 1,000 years in this life and we will feel come to a dead end. But we can have a fraction of a second, a meeting of minds with the Guru, and we've solved it all forever. That is how Guru is Maharaj. That is how life finds its answers through the Guru. And that is how we see that even in this life, the Gurus don't value the physical half as much as the spirit. It's not as though they don't love life. They don't love the family. They are not attached to the family. But they have a much deeper attachment than the physical attachment which we have. Now, assuming we had so many past lives, so many parents, so many children, so many wives, where are they? Today, where are they? They are only an experience of karam, that's all. And they are within us. So in that way, they are never in form and shape with us. They're gone. And this is what Guru Sahib asks Aurangzeb in the Zafarnama. Where is Babur? Where is Akbar? Where is Humayun? Kuja Babur, Kuja Humayun. Where? Kuja means where? They are gone. Those identities are finished. It's not as though Akbar will be a king somewhere. No. He may be in any form or shape infinite. Could be in animal world, could be in human world, could be doing some menial work, could be an average person. It's irrelevant. That life is gone. A certain set of karams made him live through this being a king. And those karams are gone. And those bhag are gone. Now there is a new set of rules. That is how our lives are. We keep meeting the same people again and again because we like to journey with the known spirits. It doesn't help us. We either define our journeys through conflict or through love, but always in sanjog and vijog, meeting and separation, which is what Guru Sahib says. Aad aap nati sab jaki rid sid avrasad. Rid and sid, the magical powers. Avrasad. Maharaj says these riddhi siddhis, which Bhagat Ravidas gives a whole chapter on explaining these riddhi siddhis. How these people vanish, they become big, they become small, they change form, they have these siddhis with them. But Maharaj says the life of riddhi siddhi is reinforcing the ego world. Anything which makes me or reinforces the physical world to me is a reverse gear. It's not the way forward. So Guru rejects this life of riddhi and siddhi. And he says, this is avrasad, this is another taste. These are the other tastes of life, not material for spiritual people. Ignore them. It's not as though Guru is not aware of them. Then Maharaj says that life is a journey which is defined by meeting and separations, birth and death, sanjog, vijog. We can separate and we meet. Doe kar chalave. And that is what defines creation, kar. So all creation is defined by separation and meeting, is by birth and death, meeting certain people, separating from certain people, dying from this world and taking birth in another world. Sanjog and Bijog. Lekhe ave pag. And according to our karam, we get our pag. Pag is the portion they distribute in the Pandaran. They give each person their portion and it's given in one shot, one chance when they distribute the food. So Maharaj says, according to our karam, we get our pag. Maharaj is inviting us to sort out life through the man, through gyan of man, gyan of life. And where is the gyan of life? Within the man, in the Gur Prasad. Kev satyara hoiye, kev kude tutte pal. How do I become truth? How do I become aware of the truth? How do this wall of falsehood break, this ego world go away? Kev satyara hoiye. Hukam razai chalna, Nanak likhya naal. The pag which we get, that's what Maharaj is saying. What is written is our portion. We have got it. Hukam di raza vich chalna. What is raza, Maharaj? We can only know raza when we give up our ego mind. That's why he says that he who knows hukam says there is no ego. Nanak hukme je bujhe, taho mein kahe na koi. He who has known hukam says, I am not. I am only a bubble in this creation. I am a temporary phenomena. I have no permanent state of existence. This gyan I don't have. That's my conflict. That's my real problem. Less money in the bank balance, problems in the day-to-day world, those are all different planes of problems arising out of our pag. Maharaj has said Gyan and Daya. This will define our spiritual life. And where will that Gyan come from? Suniye maniye man kita pao. Antargat tirat malna. Listening to Shabad, allowing Shabad to transform our inner being. Finding love, transcending the walls of division within the man and being in Ekagar man. Then we find life. Gaviye suniye, man rakhiye pao. This is the dhyan Guru Sahib talks about in the Japji. Singing the Shabad in dhyan transforms our inner mind. This Maharaj says is the taksal, the wealth of life. Jinko nadar karam tinkar. Those who have been graced, blessed, they do this work. This is the real work. The rest is only wandering. We keep wandering. And there is no end to that wandering. Doing these spiritual practices of karam, of what they call the structural religion, karam kand, and being happy in that, that's the pitfall. I went to the mandir. I went to the Gurdwara. So I have a blessed day. Gurdware lai pavni ek na 10वां द्वार दिखाया. Going into the inner mind and finding the door which is opening the structure of Gyan in our lives, that's the meeting of the Guru. The Pavana, the emotions, are the lungs of life. That is where we meet our Guru. And how Guru opens the doors of our mind to the new world, where there are no physical entrapments which limit us, where there are no constraints to our happiness, where there is no time-bound, conditioned-bound happiness. The last lines of the Pauri are common in all these 4 Pauris. But what is important to understand is Maharaj is converting all the physical attributes or a structural religion into a spiritual practice of the man. Bhagat Gyan Daya Pandar, Kat Kat Vajje Nath. Aap Nath, Nathi Sab Jaki. He is my Nath, he is my God, he is my creator, he is my Guru who has tied up this whole creation. There is only one. Rid Siddhavrasad. In the dhyan of life, we will get the gyan, the Shabad dhyan. If there is a yoga which Guru Sahib talks about, it is Surt Shabad Yoga. We don't have any time. We have 5 minutes. Sit and say the Mul Mantra out loud. Say a Shabad you like. Relax the mind. Make it conditionless. Make it less hungry of desire. Make it free of anger, angst, lust, everything which expresses strong flavors of life. Just devoid them for some time. Relax it. And in this relaxation, sing the Shabad. Gaviye, suniye. In the Gana and the Sunna is the Dhyan of the Shabad, which Sahib told us in the last Pauri, Munda Santok Saram Patcholi Dhyan ki karho pe bhoot. Dhyan. Dhyan ki karhe pe bhoot. It's like we are moving in a train or a car, aeroplane. We are moving. We can't see anything stationary. Everything around us will be moving. So we don't have a stationary vision of life. So is our mind, always moving. So we don't have what is the mind when it is not moving. We don't have that experience. Tuk dam karari jo karo hazir hazur khudai. He says you will see the Creator the moment you stabilize your mind. So one aspect of Guru Nanak Sahib meeting Maharaj is that he will always direct us to our man. What's the state of your mind? He doesn't say, don't live this world. He doesn't say, don't indulge in the happiness of the ego in this world. He says, while doing it, hold on to Naam, to Shabad. So you can transcend this change of life. And when we have known a deeper sense of mind, where we have transcended change repetitively, then it's easier for us to transcend the change. And comes a state where we are constantly in that realm, where there is no change. And we are in darshan, where the inner mind, moving mind is dropped. If we struggle to drop the inner mind, then it will become more intense. It will become more difficult. Love for the Guru instantly makes it happen, effortlessly. So in that way, love is an essential aspect of a spiritual practice. Pao khala agan taptao, panda pao amrit tittal. The bartan, the panda in which the amrit of life is to sustain, that's found in love. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksal. This is the key to Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj's spiritual practice. Shabad Sachi Taksal. Shabad, Sachi, the truth, Taksal, wealth, mint. And he explains this in the slok also. Then when we have gone beyond change, then jinni naam te aaya, gaye mushakkat kaal. Those who have invested in naam, they are the ones who've toiled and found the real wealth of life. Nanak te mukujle keti chutti naal. Not only are we free of entanglements, free of pain, free of sorrow, but even those around us are supported. Now, I'm not saying that the struggle of day-to-day existence goes away. No, certainly not. It may go away, it may not go away, depending on our pag, depending on our karma. But we can certainly have a more fruitful inner journey, which is more loving, more caring, which allowing us to absorb this pain and to understand that this is not forever. This journey which we are living, this day-to-day businesses and careers which we are forming are temporary. Naam is permanent. So it gives us the jnana of life. It gives us an understanding of our relationship between my inner reality and creation and the foundation of life. 29th Pauri, we visited Guru Nanak Sahib's Japji. I would invite any questions you have about this Pauri or about Gurbani in general or about spirituality. And then if there are questions or none, not, then we go to Anand Sahib as a culmination of today's session. I thank you all for being here. And I ask for Guru Maharaj's blessing for us all so we can know what is Shabad, what is life. How does pain go away? Kit kit pit jagupje purkha, kit kit dukh minas jai. Haume bit jagupje purkha, naam bisar ye dukh pai. Thank you so much. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. Or if you're on YouTube, you can write out the question there. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Bhugat is food, khana. What they make as their food for the langar, for their pandaran, that's the bhugat.
And what is the connection between food and...
This is, the yogis have told Guru Sahib about their life, about how their spirituality exists in their practices of religion. And this is an essential part of their religion. The Bhugat, Pandaran, the Naad which they sing, they have, this they say is their religion. Like they said that we eat kandmul, the leaves and roots around us, that is our religion. So they feel that is their defining religion. But Guru has transformed their religious practice into spiritual man, practice of the man. And then asks the question, what is the state of your mind? How do you figure out the issue within the man? That is more important. So Guru has taken them and us into a journey of the inner mind and explains this to us. Using these, the yogis, the words the yogis have used for their Pandaran, which is Bhugat, Naad, Ji.
So are these similes or not?
No, this is their practices, how the yogis distribute their food in their langar. They have claimed to Guru Sahib, this is our spiritual journey is in this Pandaran. And then Maharaj has said that your Bhugat is your Gyan, knowledge of life. That's your spiritual food in the spirit. Pandaran is the distribution is through Daya. That Gyan through love gets distributed in the world and you get connected to creation. Bhugat Gyan, Daya Pandaran. Kat kat vajje naad. And this naad which you're using this nadi to call out people, this is inside the spirit. In every part of our being it is reverberating. The naad, the presence of the Creator. Aap nath nathi sab jaki. And that one Creator is our foundation, who has tied the whole creation together. Aap nathi sab jaki. Ji. Ji Maharaj Ji.
So, can we say that there are two types of knowledge, there are two types of compassion? One is attained in this world, and one is attained out of the dhyan. Is it so?
No, the passion, compassion which we live in this world, that doesn't exist in absolute sense. That is all existing for a reason. There's a cause to it, space to it, and a time to it. That is defining that love, that. But it's not spiritual, so it's temporary, it's transient, and it keeps changing. So it's not stable. There is only one love in creation, and all the love which we feel or know, that's the source. But that gets triggered through cause, space, time, and cause in the physical world. So we feel that love through reason. The moment the reason goes away, the love goes away. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Thank you so much.